Hey there, it's VJ Franz K. I was thinking what I was going to draw today, and then I just started messing around with these things, and pretty soon it looks like Vaporwave, so maybe I'll just keep going with that aesthetic, as they call it. What I did here was I used the tube, drew some lines with the tube, and then I used the warp tool. Where's that warp tool? There it is. So I used the tubes tool to make this sort of paint lines, and then warped them with the warp tool to get this sort of sound wave type of look to it, and then made some planes in the background, which are these cyan blue squares. So, did I get another trophy for making Vaporwave today? Alright, well, let's see what else we're going to throw in here. Here's a square tube. That's a pretty cool look. I think I'll go back. Do I need some palm trees, maybe? Or it's easy to go into the cliches of a style if you want to sort of get that appearance, but I would say that if you want to keep doing Vaporwave stuff, it might be better to start thinking of more things that are Vaporwave than the standard cliches. You know what I'm saying? Just get some real variety on the subject. Expand the boundaries. Because if everyone stuck to cliches, we'd still be painting ancient hunters throwing spears at stuff. So you have to expand your possibilities. Oh yeah, what am I going to do? I'm going to change the material to diffuse here so it doesn't shine. That's better. If I wanted some black squares in here, maybe an interplay of different checkerboard colors. We've got this sort of white grid background, which is just about perfect for the aesthetic appearance. I'll bring it closer to me so it fits well in the play area. And put up more of these checkers in the background. Most people would put up checkerboard in a regular pattern, but I really like sort of doing you set up a regular pattern and then you sort of break it up at the edges. So different interesting things are happening in the design. It's more interesting for the people looking at it. Got some tracking issues here. But on one of these artist programs, anytime you start to have tracking issues, I say just move your point of view. Move your point of view to something that's easier to deal with. And then I guess I can't get rid of this swirl, because that is kind of the worst part of the picture right now. Wonder what I can do here. Can I get rid of that part of the picture if I erase this thing, the entire line is going to go, and then one of my wavy lines will be gone. So I think, but maybe I can, I was using the warp tool before, and I'll just show you what it does. Any area of the picture that you push it through, it suddenly changes the shape of that. So can I use it? Can I use it to make this less? Kind of a workaround idea, but wow, geometry is getting very smeared there. I wonder if I can warp these. I tried to warp them earlier, but they won't go, so maybe they're just too simple. They're too simple, you can't warp them. It was worth a try. These spikes up here where a single point isn't warped, but then other stuff is. I don't know if this is going to turn out good or not, but just trying. Fold it into a big blob. But I was thinking, sometimes if you have to hide something, put something else out there, right? Just in the middle. And what would be the most Vaporwave things to do? Maybe a Greek column, or, you know, the bust, Greco-Roman bust that looks like Michelangelo's David or something with blank marble eyes. I'll try it. Though after this I should probably paint something that is more original than this idea, but oh well. Everyone knows to start with a head, you probably want to make a nice sphere. Nice sphere for the head. Then maybe another sphere to try and establish the jawline. Then this is just a test, trying it. Actually, what I'll really do, what will I do? I will go back a few steps. I'm going to activate the Symmetry Plane. Huh, why is my Symmetry Plane so out there? Can I grab it? A couple of times ago, I was using the Symmetry Plane, and then I accidentally moved it. And I couldn't get it back to where I wanted it to be. Oh wait, I see. I see what I might do is then go to this mode. Yeah. Grabber mode, and then set up the symmetry right here. Facing it directly. Maybe even rotate the symmetry a little bit if I want the head to be symmetrical along these lines. Look at it from the side. It might really be better to do this in Sculptor VR if you're making a sculpture, of course, but . whatever. Then try and organic shapes to really get the real shape of a head. Yeah, this probably is going to look terrible, but oh well. Wow. Sort of a dog person. He's a dog person. You can say, is he a cat person or a dog person? He's definitely a dog person. Because he's part dog, you see. All right. He's not going to win any beauty awards that way. Remember that the Greco-Roman sculptures they were always trying to show, or usually, they were trying to show the ideal person. That was like some sort of example of what the perfect person was supposed to look like. And you can say, well, if all you're concerned about is exterior good looks, then that's pretty shallow. And probably so. But it is easier to show external good looks in art than it is to show internal good looks. But the trick is just to fill it out, to suggest the personality of the character by how you are dealing with the picture. Looks a bit like a face. Wow. It is hard to make a totally symmetrical thing. We're going to get some strange necks here, too. Wonder what'll happen if I just go down and just kind of define the shape with some loop. Wow, it's really strange. It does sort of look like a neck. Maybe, people are going to start laughing at this. Yeah, that's neck enough. Neck-like enough, I guess. Then, if it's one of the, if it's a bust, it's got the shoulders on it and then nothing else. So he's a guy with a long neck. That's something a sculptor might do. just making up sort of random muscle structure here, but that's good enough. And then we'll sort of do the edges of his robe here and some other stuff, and that'll be that. Let's see. Maybe. Oh yeah, but he's completely made of stone, so he doesn't have any dark eyebrows or anything like that. It's all marble. Okay, that looks. Those are nice eyebrows, but I think I might be able to do better. They're looking down instead of sort of. In order to get the real vaporwave look of it, the expression should just sort of look blank, right? It's just looking off into space. You don't know what's in his mind at all. So an empty sort of stare, I think. I think that's about right. The eyes are a bit too wide, but that kind of that translates to a blank look. Sometimes you want to add a detail like lines under the eyes, but you decide not to. Better cheekbones there, why not? You add some sort of detail like lines under the eyes, but you decide not to. Why? Well, because even though it's a detail that you see there, if you add it, the person will suddenly look old or something like that. It's too much. It's too much detail for the thing to have. So even though it's present in real life for your portrait work, you just have to leave it off. Oh darn. See, that's why I need a redo in Cool Edit. I need a redo in order to be able to. Because sometimes you accidentally undo things and there. Oh no. We are in trouble. For the lips, maybe. Yeah. Oh shit. See, and there is where I moved. There is where I moved the plane without meaning to do it, and we are totally in trouble now. Yeah. It's but that is why I should have kept saving. I didn't save. Well, this is where I stop making him symmetrical then. Now is the time when I go in and add his hair. And his hair won't be symmetrical. It'll be this other shape. So I'll just wow. I didn't even mean to do that, but that is not a bad start at all. It looks kind of correct. Maybe I'll take off the mirror plane. sort of curly looking marble hair stuff. Have fun doing some loops here. Yep, better have hair on the back, or else barbers are going to be mad. Just have a mullet going down here. Mullet going down here and covering up some of the other things that I didn't bother to do that well, like the neck. Mullet. Wow. That's surprisingly good. Okay. I was hoping to get into the Dreams beta today, but I guess there were too many people who also wanted to do that. It was a super popular idea. Wait, before I mess with him anymore, I'm going to save it. That's already partial to the goal, so save it. The pencil is happy. We saved some art. All right, good. Gonna try something here. Use the move tool and then use the magnify tool. Make him big. Really, wait. Huge. Gigantic. Back. And now, wow. He's gone from being human-sized to being as large as a giant. But now maybe I will be able to draw the lips. Actually, he needs to be smaller if I'm going to do that. Try... Wait, back. Use this, then magnifying glass. At first, I didn't know about the magnifying glass, so... Oh gosh. Some accidental slip of the wrist there made him gigantic, and wow, we are back to a normal size once again. My tracking is bouncing around. Oh. This type of thing is one of those things that will make you very motion sick. Especially if you're not used to looking at it, because you've got that Alice in Wonderland vibe. Suddenly things are changing their sizes all around you, and your body is saying, what's going on here? Your body thinks that you have eaten some strange mushrooms out there in the field while foraging, and it better make you puke them up. That is one theory behind VR sickness, is that it's just designed to protect you from your own questionable eating habits. Alright, let's see. You know, in order to do this right, I'm going to have to reactivate the plane. Where is it? Here. Then this. Then move the plane specifically. Try to get that back online. Try to get that back online with his face. Yeah, that is big problem number one for your artwork if you're working on a symmetrical thing. Another thing in art is that we almost always emphasize the lips on female characters in comics, and then we're downplaying the lips on male characters because we don't usually wear lipsticks, so there's less of an emphasis on that. But hey, we all have lips, so they are there. It's just they're not as noticed. That looks about right, actually. I could erase it and try again, but I can tell that this project is on the difficult side, so I'm gonna go with my luck there. Add the round part of his nose. No, that just looks stupid. We'll keep him like this. Alright, then add a little bit of a robe there, and then maybe the Greco-Roman column thing that goes under the statue. Whoa. Alright, he just became giant once again. And now miniature in a matter of moments. Okay, let's see. So for this, we'll use this brush thing and make it a plain brush like this, because it's like fabric. So like sheets of fabric going over his collar area. Of course, the way they would always carve these statues is you'd still want to see their shoulder muscles and all of that stuff, so I don't want to cover it up. Just give it enough to look like the sort of statue bust thing that we are always seeing. Back of the collar there. That could be enough right there. Sometimes less is more, and that's probably just fine. Then now I can turn off the mirror plane because I'm going to do some stuff with cylinders. Here. Oh wait, to get the shape of a column, I can use revolve shapes. if I use them smoothly enough. Like that, and then like that. First try. It might be too big. Yeah, I think I do kind of want a top-heavy look for the thing. It's like it's a Greco-Roman column, but it could also be like a chess piece or something that has this kind of column bottom on it. It looks like a dress. A toga and a dress, they're not the same. They're a little different. That could be it. Looks kind of like a modern table that you get at IKEA or something. Rotate the world. Then like this. Get the positioning just right. I guess it really doesn't need that wide bottom base, does it? In fact, it should be out, in, down, out, in, down straight, out, down. Down, straight, down, far, down, out. There. Is it cool to do it on an angle like that? I don't know. I guess I can't shrink a particular object. Leave him approximately human-sized here. Like that. Then how good is my cursive writing, do you think? If I'm using these 3D things. Go to here, save it to the console, overwrite or create a new one. We'll say floppy disk. Wait, we'll say plus. Create a new image. Perfect. Bright pink or purple is part of the aesthetic. Lines like that, so. That's pretty good. I really should have used shiny mode, shouldn't I? Shiny letters. closer. Make sure I'm in my play area. Oh wow, I was really out of there. I was really out of the play area. No wonder it kept getting confused. All right, and instead of the squares now, or I mean instead of the round writing, I'll use squares. And instead of dull, flat, I'll use shiny. It's hard to get the thickness there because you just have one trigger, which is controlling both the control and the width. So you have to release it. Have to release it a little bit past where you would want to have it. Vaporwave. Now, it probably isn't that true to the aesthetic to write out the name Vaporwave. That's sort of probably a style violation right there. It has to say it without saying it directly. But, oh well, I guess I've already said it and it looks okay, so I will keep that in there. Think about other things I could do here. Maybe I can spray paint some purple. Oops. I can spray paint some shiny purple onto that flat purple. But then I will hit the wave and change its color in the wrong way. It's probably good enough. I've got some squares out there. Do I need some cubes, maybe? Cubes of color. And in the end, I sort of went with that deep purple there, so who knows? Maybe some pink cubes is what it needs. I don't know. But before I add anything more, I will once again save it. And this time I will save over the file. Just get the whole thing in there. Pink cubes. What are they doing here? I don't know. But why do I still have that view? I think that might have been a glitch. That the camera view remained. It sounded like a weird idea, but now that they're here, they look like they belong here, wouldn't you say? That's always the test for when you're working on art. Does it seem to belong? Or is it out of place? You know what else we need? We need a floppy disk. Of course we need a floppy disk, right? The 3.5-inch floppy disk. Maybe that is doable. Maybe. By using planes. Or was it 3.25 floppy disk, I think. I actually did plenty of artwork that is still saved on 3.5-inch floppy disks. So I know how to do this art style because I remember it. There's the disk. I can just get the label to be nice and flat and seem to be on there. And for the label, kind of beige color. Beige. Macintosh and Commodore Amiga and all of these other computers were beige. It seemed like a cool color at the time. Maybe it looks kind of dated at this point, but beige seemed to be the future. Sort of using a trick to try and get... That looks terrible. Unaesthetic, man. Just leave a label here, and maybe a little notch right here in the corner. The right protect spaces. Just one of them. And that sort of sliding thing, the disc cover. Which I think it was made of aluminum. Well, thank you. All right. Okay. See, if I had a square, a rectangle thing that I could adjust the size of, I could make that look like the label is supposed to. But it is kind of, yeah. But I could use this, and then a square, and then a line, straight line. Could do, wait, like that. And then just have it through the front of the disc, and you don't look at the back. I think that's going to work. But change the size of the scene a little bit larger. Wait, a little bit smaller there. Make everything small. Then oh wait, I know what I can do. So make a thing the right size. That's about right. Then go into specific object. Wait, it's the disk. All right, I'll take the disk and I'll move it micro grabbing precision is required. All right, we're stuck on that part. But this can go flat. And in fact, we can redo the label as well. So I'll just take these and put them off to the side. They can get erased. And oh, I can't grab this thing. I see why I can't grab it, right? Because it doesn't let you grab the brush strokes in this app. All right, then there are usually workarounds that you can figure out. Use my eraser and erase this thing, erase this thing, erase. Come on, get that little thing, you know you want to. Got it. Okay. Adjusting the virtual reality headset. And VR is really very Vaporwave. It always has been because it appeared in, you know, the mid-90s. And they had some very basic VR stuff that you could try at the mall. They set up arcades with a player versus player game that you could go around. And I tried it, and I thought it was cool, but people said it was a fad, and it kind of went away. But now VR is so much better than it was at that time, so hopefully people can now see the real value in it that they weren't able to see at that time. Try and try again. That's good enough. All right. Then a beige label. Out of play area. All right. Move everything over here. Shrink it down once again. Why am I shrinking it? Because to get a wider brush line, a wider maximum brush line, if I shrink everything, then, see what I'm saying? Then I can get a huge wide brush line. Just kind of... This is going to be the hardest part. Rotate everything, make it a bit easier. That's the weird thing about VR, is that you go in it for a while and then you remove your mask and you realize you're standing in an entirely different part of the room than you expect it to be, because that's the immersion. You get disoriented. Turn everything like this. I could have made the floppy disk out of a black cube, but it would have been too obvious that it wasn't a flat thing at that point. Oh man, it looks crooked though. Looks crooked on that edge. I'm gonna keep trying here. It's like your lightsaber. Use the Force, Luke. Use the wave, the vapor aesthetic. Wow. Okay, I see something else I can do. If I get it flat. Make it too big, and then darn. There we go. That is about as good as I'm probably going to get. And then move the disk upward to absorb most of these rectangles. Oops. Not perfect, but, well, I don't know. Actually, you could put the label on crookedly on these discs, so that's not impossible. The right protect notch has to go up in that corner there, and then maybe write something on the label. Go into size, zoom, magnify once again. Oops. Ha. Oh. That is better. Lock it. Then add a one white cube up in the corner. No, this here. So crooked. If I can't do it right, maybe I shouldn't do it at all. Okay. Go back to a square line. Write something on the disk. And the color should be black and flat. I'm going to write the word GIF. No, I don't think it is GIF. It's not GIF. It's GIF because it stands for Graphic Interchange Format. And then I'll download this and I'll make a GIF out of it. Or this thing does let you export. The last line on that GIF is so crooked. Give me a break. Unfortunately, they don't have Giphy World for PlayStation yet, but I think a lot of people would love to use Giphy World on PlayStation VR. If anyone is listening who wants to help us with that. Maybe a mirrored sphere or something like that. It's about done, but don't want to crowd it. Interrupt the aesthetic with too much crowdedness or something. Save it to the console and make a new scene with it. Vaporwave.gif. Just try it. This. Then change the color to white and change the style of material to specular. Is that right? Oh, wait. I know what it could be. It could be the sun. A big red, orange, or some purple. Over here, but what we might need is self-illuminated. It's the sun, after all, it better be illuminated. That is just about right. Maybe. Interesting. I don't know. Does that throw off the color balance of the image? I already have a few too many colors in this scene. It might be pushing it. Just think what Bob Ross would have been painting right in the middle of the early 1990s if he was in a Miami Vice episode. Yeah, maybe that's better. It was going to take over the picture. If we weren't careful, use the grabber mode, I'll put it back further into the background because well, really, it's going to be very far away from us on Earth, but just can't stop. No, not that. What do you think I'm making? What could it be? Change the color to diffuse once again. But not a straight line. Freehand mode. I don't know if I can draw this. Maybe too hard to get it with my limited abilities with these tools. But you can see what I'm kind of sketching out here. The tree trunk of palm trees. Actually, the tree trunk of palm trees is not green. The leaves of palm trees are green. But this brush makes a pretty good palm leaf. Maybe make the world a bit larger. No, the world a bit smaller. So the brush strokes will seem to be larger. There. No. That one. This is going wrong. Yeah, that's it. Maybe too many leaves for the palm. What does that look like from the front? Oh, not that great. Well, it's okay. It's not amazing. Then a trunk. On this app, unfortunately, I'll just readjust my mask, VR mask again. There's no textures on this app. Nope. A tube, a round tube. Yes. No. A tube, a round tube. My first try, I kind of screwed it up, but that looked sort of correct. Yeah, it's a bit harder to control the width with these game controllers than it is to with the more advanced VR like I'm used to, but coconuts? Does it need coconuts? No, that looks stupid. Stupider than the rest of it. Eraser. And erase. Wait. Eraser. Erase mode. There. Got it. Now that I put in the tree and the palm tree, it needs water, doesn't it? It needs some water. Keep adding on, and then you're drawn into an infinite situation. Maybe that's what I'll call this picture. Infinite situation. That sounds vaporwave, doesn't it? Liquid. Hey. It might work. Sort of ocean, deep teal blue there. And then shiny. Oops. Huh. But that does show us that we've got the right like that. And back. No, I selected that. Okay. That, then this. Got it. Got it. No, why? Why? Why is it doing this? Okay. Got it. Good. Ocean waves of water, but not that wavy. It's vaporwave, but that sea is too turbulent. Back. Zoom out. Move the world. Move the world, man. Make everything real small. If everything is real small, these waves will be really large. That is perfect, isn't it? Kind of. Just looks like the ocean. On a calm afternoon in Miami Beach, Florida. Or Malibu or something. Got those waves, but little variation in the color of the ocean has to be there. Really bright, white, blue sort of lines there. You know, that's okay. It's kind of distracting from the main picture. But I bothered to put it in. It's alright, so I'll leave it in there. There's a lot of other Vaporwave things that we could add to this picture, but maybe come back to it later. You always can. With VR art, just save it and then return later. So what will I do here? I'm going to save it, and notice I could save to USB or even export. Could be interesting, but I don't have a USB drive in there right now. Actually, I will go ahead and I kept making it small to do all of these different edits, but now I will return it to human size. Wow. It's impressive. It seems like everything just suddenly rose up in front of me. Gotta stand. Can you see the position of the camera there? I can't really see it. It's a bit larger than human size now, so just a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's about human sized. And because I know the size of my controller in the real world here. Line that up in a nice way. That's good, that's good. And that is just the world's largest 3¼ inch floppy disk. Now save it. Make a new file. Take the snapshot right here from this angle. Okay, good. So anyway, Sculptor VR. It's an awesome program. It sounds vaporwave from the very beginning, doesn't it? And the whole idea of doing this art in 3D goes with the aesthetic, but I was just demonstrating that part of the thing. Thank you for watching. Please check me out on YouTube. My main channel is called VJ Franz K. This is my secondary channel. And I'll see you guys maybe on a Sculptor VR multiplayer thing. Oops. All right, here we go.